Folks, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Please subscribe to the channel, give this video a like. I want to bring you guys some updates about some recent news events going on, a few things that I noticed, and I've covered these on previous videos, but now more information is being revealed, more data of the warnings that I have been telling you guys about that were coming down the pipe. But before that, I want to take in this beautiful, beautiful environment, this beautiful scenery that we have here. Much better weather today, calmer waves. I guess they're not manipulating the weather today. But folks, it says here that retailer Party City, the party is over. Sort of. Retailer Party City filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, toppled by heavy debt loads. Party City has secured a $150 million bankruptcy loan and will seek approval to see half of those funds to immediately pay wages and vendors, among other expenses. So, just to put it out there before we get too far into the video, this does not mean that Party City is going to be closing all their stores. It does not mean that Party City is going to close down for good. It doesn't mean that they're wiped out totally. But what it does mean is that Party City is experiencing some financial hardship, and at that, they are filing bankruptcy. Now, these are bankruptcies that I had warned you about. I don't want to get in the way of your Frisbee game.
He's not throwing that.
Oh, no?
No.
I'm not throwing it.
Okay. So, yeah, so it doesn't mean that they're shutting down or anything like that, but it does mean that they are in a little bit of a financial bind. Therefore, this bankruptcy filing, much like other businesses that we've seen, Bed Bath & Beyond is one of them, JCPenney, Revlon. I wonder if we'll see Twitter on the list. Elon Musk is having a hard time paying some of those bills. He's late on his rent payments, on his lease payments. He's getting evicted. But at the end of the day, we need to be aware of what's going on, be mindful, and be prepared. Preparing, for that matter. Little day cruise we got going on here. Having a good time. Floating around in Destin Harbor. Probably sipping on a few cocktails. So I guess let's just go over that briefly. They're trying to secure this loan in this bankruptcy, this Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing. Now, granted, they're using it to pay expenses, including employee wages. So if, let's just say, they were unable to secure this loan, or well, more than likely, and they're going to be taking a close look at their books and their expenses and reducing their costs wherever possible, then it would behoove us to realize that the future of employment at a company like Party City may be short-lived. It may not be the most viable option for long-term financial success and financial growth. Well, they could potentially figure out a way to turn this thing around, but in my opinion, with the changes that we've got going on in the economy, consumer spending habits, I don't see it as a strong, viable business long-term, okay? Now, with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if we see news headlines with giant swings in stock price fluctuations and valuations as options traders get in on this new meme stock opportunity. Hey folks, go ahead and drop me a comment if I got any day traders watching, any folks getting involved in some options trading, some folks waking up in the morning, jumping on their computer for a couple hours and making a few $1,000s. Just kind of curious if anybody out there is anybody out there having any success, any wins, any losses, any gains? If you guys want to know more, comment down below. We can go in, do a deep dive of basics, investors, beginning, options trading for beginners, future videos. But folks, it says here that Party City has for years battled competition for party goods and decorations, especially from big box chains and online retailers that sell a wider variety of merchandise like Amazon. Wider variety, fast shipping, lower price. Think of Amazon as your direct contact to China. Another one being Target in particular, and has increased its party supplies and special events merchandise. And Target has, you know, an added advantage over Party City because they have a variety of reasons for shoppers to visit. These specialty type stores, these one-offs, I don't know, they may be short-lived, especially with these online alternatives, these money-saving, budget-friendly online alternatives. That is until they wipe out the competition, and they'll probably raise their price. But then it got me thinking, not to go off on a tangent, but perhaps one of the more likely considerations of long-term survival could potentially be Home Depot, Lowe's. And when I say Home Depot, Lowe's, I'm talking about the lumber, hardware, building material, and home and garden section, because those may prove to be difficult business niches to automate online. Think about that. But it says here that this is squarely aimed at the family demographic, which traditionally shop Party City. And this is according to Neil Saunders, which is an analyst at Global Data Retail. And he says the emergence of Spirit Halloween, a pop-up store model, also cut into Party City sales during the key holiday season. Look at this guy. Oh, little camo, little urban camo package. That's pretty cool looking. Yeah, you guys have all seen these holiday or these Halloween stores pop up, and they're there for the season, then they leave. Again, folks, that diversity, these businesses are executing. It says competition is not the only factor that led to Party City's collapse. The company had to contend with rising costs during the pandemic and a helium shortage as well, which hurt its highly crucial balloon business. Balloons are a focal point of our growth strategy and are a key driver of our differentiated brand experience. And that between 2017 and 2021, Party City's sales dropped 8%, down to $2.2 billion. The company projected sales to remain flat in 2022, but the company also lost money every year between 2019 and 2021, and said was on track to lose up to $199 million in 2022. So I don't think it takes like a rocket scientist or, you know, an economy major, an economist, to understand the implications of the projections of multiple millions of dollars, multi-million-dollar losses in a business operation, and how it's generally not a sustainable business model. We'll just put it like that. So Party City's bankruptcy may be a sign of trouble for the retail industry this year, which, you know, to be expected. To be expected. Christmas, Black Friday, all that holiday spending, that was the last hurrah, okay? We're about to see the tide come in, the tables turn, the music stop. And this was that situation I was telling you guys about. You can see this chart here. It's not looking good. But it's that situation I was telling you guys about where, in this particular instance, this game of musical chairs that these businesses are playing, the businesses and the raw material suppliers, and most importantly, the workforce, the labor, as well as the banks. Because you got to think, if the banks made these loans, if investors made these loans, and these companies go bankrupt and they're losing money faster than they can even sneeze, then if they're losing all this money, where's it go? And how do you get it back? Now this is a debt spiral. Let's say a death spiral, really, but it's a debt spiral down. And the more loss we see, the more companies we see go out, the more bankruptcies that come about, the worse off overall things are going to be for everybody, for a large portion of people. Well, it also says here that there is a substantial doubt about the company's ability to continue because of its worsening financial situation, which is understandable. Now, like I said, filing bankruptcy doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to close, and definitely doesn't mean they're going to shut down and close all their stores today or tomorrow. But metaphorically speaking, figuratively speaking, tomorrow they may. So the substantial doubt about the company's ability to continue because of its worsening financial situation should be a big red flag, a big warning sign. Sorry about the jets are loud. Sorry about that. Should be a warning sign for folks that are possibly invested in these companies, whether it be financially invested, holding stock, investments in their portfolios, and or physically invested as employees, employment, vendors tied to it. Think about it. If you're a vendor tied to a company that's losing hundreds of millions of dollars and filing bankruptcy, odds are you're probably not going to get paid in full, and you may not get paid at all. So folks, keep that in mind, especially for the self-employed. I had somebody actually tell me, or they commented on a video, I think it was yesterday, and they said I don't have to worry about my job. I'm self-employed, I'm never going to fire myself. Well, man, these jets are so cool. things are cool. So it said, the comment said, I'm never gonna fire myself, so I don't have to worry. Well, just because you're self-employed doesn't mean you don't have to worry. Self-employed just means you pay yourself 1099. You pay yourself through your own W-2. You don't answer to anybody but yourself, but at the end of the day, you rely on customers, you rely on consumers, you rely on other folks' inputs to keep your company afloat and keep you profitable, hopefully profitable, and gainfully employed and earning an income. Although you may not fire yourself, you still need these companies to pay. You need these customers to pay. So if you're self-employed and perhaps maybe you're tied into a company like Party City that's on filing bankruptcy, or any other company for that matter that's financially underwater, financially at risk, well, your payables, your receivables are going to be more than likely over 90, over 120. They may even fall into the category of bad debt and charge off. So, if you're self-employed and all the companies and all the businesses and all the customers and all the shoppers that keep your cash register ringing, keep your POS, and keep your POS up and running, if they stop paying and you got, like, let's just say you got credit terms with them or anything like that, it could hurt. So let's remember that, and also remember that we need to maintain a reasonable level of savings, retained earnings, and diversification and security in these times, and maintaining relationships and communications with your accounts so that they don't catch you off guard one day and tell you that they can't pay their bill. It could happen. But it says that the longtime retailer, best known for its holiday costumes and party decorations, has been saddled with historic inflation and a shrinking market cap. It decided to move forward with bankruptcy in November after financial advisors determined it was the best way to save the business. And the retailer wrote in a Wednesday court filing, Party City's business had been growing and reached approximately $2.35 billion in revenue in 2019, but for years it's faced rising competition from e-commerce brands and big box retailers, and instead of growing its digital business, the company burned cash, keeping some 800 stores across the country open. Admirable, keeping stores open, keeping folks employed, but ultimately not sustainable. I want to talk to you guys about an opportunity that just popped into my head. Don't let me forget. So it says here that they are competing against Walmart and Target and Amazon and the dollar stores and grocery stores. Yeah, this ties into exactly what I want to talk to you guys about. So I think Michelle, we were having a conversation the other day about some of the businesses that we have witnessed go out here recently, and potentially those that could go out next. And I think it was Third Eye Blind, and they said every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. And what's important about that is realizing the competition and the struggles that Party City has faced as a result of changes in the economy, changes in the supply chain, changes in inflation, changes in consumer spending habits, as well as competition from Walmart, Target, Amazon, and the Dollar Tree. So hear me out. If anybody out there is looking for an opportunity, this could be a great one to get into. Now, you don't want to get into a sinking ship, obviously, but let's focus on all the positives, let's focus on all the pros and the cons, and try to evolve and create a new business that takes the best of both worlds. We're going to take Party City's biggest selling factors, highest revenue producing products, highest profit producing products, and we're also going to eliminate their biggest liabilities and overhead operating costs and expenses that drive down profits from these revenues that we're trying to produce, while executing on keeping our debt and liability as low as possible by utilizing drop shipping opportunities and online business platforms. Folks, I want you guys to go take a look. I'm gonna pull it up here so you can see it. I want you guys to go take a look at Doug's new store. Now, Doug, you may know him formerly as Trucking Prepper, and he has just recently opened a store, and it's called northernpreparedness.com. And I got it pulled up here so you guys can see quality, preparedness, and survival at a discount. I'm gonna turn this so you guys can read it. So I will say this, folks, when you're creating online stores, online or brick and mortar, doesn't matter, visibility is huge. We were actually having this conversation today with our pet trainer, our dog trainer, and marketing and visibility is huge. So one, we want to be out there in front of the eyes, we want to be visible, we want to be seen, but more importantly, we want to be optimized for the greatest reach, as well as once we are seen and found, we are optimized. In this particular situation, optimized for mobile, optimized for desktop, optimized for portrait mobile, optimized for landscape mobile. We want to also make sure that we are clearly promoting and marketing ourselves, driving inbound consumer traffic, while also pointing out the strengths and the reasons why you should buy from us versus anywhere else. And taking all of this into consideration and melding it into a better business plan than the outgoing Party City could produce a really great online-based business that could easily be built on Shopify or Wix or Squarespace or wherever. If you guys would like to see me go into greater detail on that, just drop a comment down below and let me know. But in the meantime, let's not fall victim to the same woes that Party City and other companies and other businesses and other corporations and other retailers are experiencing right now. Let's make sure that we've got our debt under control, if not down to zero. Let's make sure we're making more money and we're spending less than we make, more importantly, so that we can save money, we can budget wisely, and ultimately invest for returns, and then eventually passive income streams. Pretty simple, right?